God bless North Carolina. And God bless Gaston County. What a great crowd, what a great turnout. We are 3 days away from changing this country and putting America back on track. You know, you think about it in every single election cycle. It really comes down to one question. Sometimes we know what the question is, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have to look at all the analysis afterwards. But when we look at this election cycle, we know what America cares about. We know what the voters care about. We know what every family in North Carolina is worried about. Is America going to be strong or weak? Is North Carolina going to be strong or weak? Is Western North Carolina going to be strong or weak? You know, in this election cycle, we have a comparison. We have two candidates who both have served 4 years in the White House. One of those candidates, as our borders are, led the administration to take 94 executive actions to dismantle the most secure southern border that we've ever had. She's allowed 10, 15, 20 million illegal immigrants to come across that border. Tens of thousands of convicted murderers that she's released into our country. Tens of thousands of convicted rapists that she has allowed into our country. Hundreds of thousands of convicted felons that she's let into our country, including here in North Carolina. We've got a vice president who cast the tie-breaking vote on $2.5 trillion worth of unneeded, unnecessary, wasteful government spending. And when President Obama's own economic advisor said it's going to send prices through the roof, she did it anyway. And now every single family in North Carolina is paying 25% more for their groceries, paying 50% more for their gasoline, paying 25% more for their housing unless they want to buy a house. And now it costs twice as much to buy the same house today as it did 4 years ago. We have a vice president who on the world stage stood up Benjamin Netanyahu at a joint session in Congress so she could go to a sorority event in Texas. Who went to a conference with all the world leaders in Europe and told Putin, do not invade Ukraine. 5 days later, he invaded Ukraine. Not much of a deterrent. America is weak. And when America is weak, the world is a far more dangerous place. On the other hand, we have a former president. Nine years ago, Donald J. Trump came down the escalator and said that he was going to make America great again by restoring our southern border, rebuilding our economy, and making sure that America is strong enough to protect ourselves and our allies around the world. And for 4 years, that is exactly what he did. He built the strongest, most secure southern border that we've ever had. Illegal detentions, illegal crossings were at record lows when he left office. He built an absolutely roaring economy. We had more women in the workforce. We had lower unemployment among blacks, lowest unemployment among Hispanics ever in history. And we were recovering coming out of COVID. Inflation was less than 2% every single year, and it was 1.5% when he turned it over to Joe Biden. We have a president, when he was there, Russia was in check. China was in check. Iran was in check. And he said to the world, we will protect our interests and our allies, and we will stand up to the bullies who want to be running over our interests around the world. So I have to ask, does America want America to be strong? Does North Carolina want America to be wealthy again? Does North Carolina want America to be safe again? Yes. Does America want America to be great again? Yes. So does North Carolina want to re-elect Donald J. Trump as our 47th president? And are you ready to welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America to North Carolina? Now, I got one more thing to say. We are 3 days out from the most important election of our lifetimes. How many people here have already voted? That's awesome. But it's not enough. When we get out of here today, and I want you all to really, truly enjoy Donald Trump when he comes here to Gaston County. But you have got to go home and roll up your sleeves and pull out your cell phone and go to work. Every person in this crowd, I want you to commit right now that you are willing to take 1 hour. I need 5-minute conversations with 10 of your friends, your family members, your colleagues, your coworkers, and people that you go to church with. They need to understand how important this election is. They must commit to vote. How many people here are going to make that commitment right now? Then let's get ready to welcome the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, back to North Carolina. Thank you.